Good day! In today's video, we're going to learn about the different types of chemical reactions. We are going to cover 5 different types, namely the synthesis reaction or the get-together, the composition reaction or the breakup, single replacement or the cheater, double replacement or the swap, and combustion reactions. Take note that the pink names are just helpful hints. Let's start. Synthesis reaction or the get-together. Synthesis reaction is a reaction in which two or more substances combine to form a single new substance. It is also known as combination reaction. The general form of a synthesis reaction is A plus B yields to AB. The chemicals on the left side acts as the reactants, and the compound on the right side acts as the product. Let's have an example. Solid sodium metal reacts with chlorine gas to product solid sodium chloride. 2Na plus Cl2 will yield to 2NaCl, or also known as table salt. As we can see on the chemical equation, sodium and chlorine atoms are combined to produce sodium chloride. This is an example of synthesis or combination reaction. Let's have another example and you try to guess the end product. Example: magnesium reacts rapidly and dramatically when ignited, combining with oxygen from the air to produce a fine powder of blank. Determine what will be the end product when we combine two atoms of magnesium and an oxygen gas. You are welcome to pause this video as you solve for this equation. Let's check your work. Your product must be magnesium oxide. And that is how we spot if the reaction that happened is a synthesis reaction. Let's go to the next type of chemical reaction, the decomposition, or also known as the breakup. Decomposition is a reaction in which a compound breaks down into two or more simpler substances. Most decomposition reactions require an input of energy in the form of heat, light, or electricity. The general form of the reaction is AB will yield to A plus B. So basically, this is just a reverse of synthesis reaction. We will start with the product and the end parts will be a decomposition of the different atoms that compose the original compound. Let's have an example of a decomposition reaction. Mercury oxide, a red solid, decomposes when heated to produce mercury and oxygen gas. So the chemical formula would be mercury oxide will yield to mercury plus oxygen gas. So basically what you see here is that it started as a compound, but when it is heated, it decomposed, resulting to two different atoms. Let's have another example and you try to guess the end product. Sodium hydroxide decomposes to produce sodium oxide and blank. The chemical formula will be NaOH will yield to blank plus H2O. You may pause this video as you try to answer for the missing product. Let's check your work. The complete chemical equation will be NaOH will yield to NaO, or sodium oxide, plus H2O. So the missing product on this part will be water. So basically in decomposition, it is just a reverse of synthesis reaction. It starts with a compound and it will be break down into different atoms that compose the original compound. Let's go to the next type of chemical reaction, which is the single replacement or the jitter. In single replacement reaction, it is a reaction in which one element replaces a similar element in a compound. The general form of the reaction is A plus BC will yield to AC plus B. Let's have an example for this. Magnesium is a more reactive metal than copper. When a strip of magnesium metal is replaced in an aqueous solution of copper nitrate, it replaces the copper. The products of the reaction are aqueous magnesium nitrate and solid copper metal. As you can observe on the reactant side, magnesium was a standalone combined with copper nitrate. So when a chemical reaction happened, magnesium was able to replace copper's place because magnesium is more reactive than copper. If you would like to know which elements are more reactive than others, please refer to the reactivity chart that was sent with you with your learning packets. So the end product now is magnesium nitrate and a solid copper metal. Let's have another example for a single replacement reaction and try to figure out what will be the end product of the given chemical equation. Zinc reacts with hydrochloric acid to produce aqueous zinc chloride and hydrogen. What do you think will be the end product? You're welcome to pause this video as you figure out the answer to this question. Let's check your work. Your answer must be zinc chloride and hydrogen. Let's now proceed with another type of chemical reaction, which is the double replacement or the swap. So this one is quite easy to recognize. A double replacement reaction is a reaction in which the positive and negative ions of two ionic compounds exchange places to form two new compounds. So the general form of the reaction is AB plus CD will yield to AD and CB. Let's have an example for you to be able to see how double replacement reaction happens. When solutions of sodium sulfide and hydrochloric acid are mixed, the products of the reaction are aqueous sodium chloride and hydrogen sulfide gas. As you can see on the chemical reaction, the sodium sulfide and hydrochloric compound swapped elements with one another, resulting to sodium chloride and hydrogen sulfide gas. So it is easy to spot a double replacement reaction because you will just see there that the elements from each compounds are swapped to form another compound. Let's have another example and you figure out what will be the end product. When aqueous hydrochloric acid is reacted with aqueous sodium hydroxide, the products are aqueous sodium chloride and water. Kindly figure out what will be the end product of this chemical equation. You're welcome to pause this video as you write the answer for this example. Let's check your work. Your answer must be NaCl and H2O. Please take note that this chemical equation is not balanced. You will learn all about balancing chemical equations on your next lesson. Let's proceed with the next and the last type of chemical reaction, which is the combustion reaction. Combustion reaction is a reaction in which a substance reacts with oxygen gas, releasing energy in the form of light and heat. Combustion reactions must always involve oxygen gas or O2 as one reactant. The products of the combustion of hydrocarbons and oxygen gas are always carbon dioxide and water. Let's have an example for you to be able to see how combustion reaction happens. Propane is a gaseous hydrocarbon that is commonly used as the fuel source in gas grills. As you can see on the chemical formula, the reactants are hydrocarbon and oxygen gas. And if there is combustion reaction that is happening, the end product will always be carbon dioxide and H2O. No matter what the hydrocarbon that is being combined with oxygen gas, the end product will always be carbon dioxide and water. Let's have another example and you figure out what will be the end product for this example. Ethanol and oxygen are the reactants. As with the hydrocarbon, the products of the combustion of an alcohol are blank and blank. You must know the answer already, but I'll still give you time to figure out what will be the end product. You may pause this video as you solve for this equation. You must know already the answer. The end product will be carbon dioxide and water. So always remember that in combustion reaction, the end product will always be carbon dioxide and water. No matter what hydrocarbon is being combined to an oxygen gas, the end product will be the same. We were able to cover all the different types of chemical reactions. Once again, we have synthesis reaction, decomposition reaction, single replacement reaction, double replacement reaction, and lastly, the combustion reaction. If ever that you will have any questions, this topic will be further discussed during our synchronous sessions. And you're also welcome to contact your science teacher. Thank you so much for watching, and remember to never stop learning. And I'll see you on the next video.